Okay, thank you. And I'd like to ask the gentleman, what would happen over in the Senate if Harry Reid were to allow for a vote on, let's say, the Menendez-Kirk language on tougher sanctions if Iran leaves the negotiating table?
Well, I think not only would it pass the Senate, I think we already know in the House, it's a clear veto-proof majority here. I think you'd see a veto-proof majority, and not just the bare 67 for that. I think you'd see over 70 senators vote for that. And that's why it's important for us to make our voice heard, because, look, the president's the president. I mean, he has certain foreign policy prerogatives, but he is way out of step with the American people and with the Congress on this issue. And I think this has gone on long enough. I think we need to make our voice heard.
It's interesting. It was tough sanctions that brought Iran to the negotiating table in the first place. Now, the administration had to be dragged kicking and screaming to have tougher sanctions that Congress initiated and pushed for. They ultimately relented and enforced those, and I approve of that. But it was not their initiative. It was Congress's initiative. Today, like you just said, Ron, Congress is pushing once again, and the administration, for some reason, is digging in its heels, and yet tougher sanctions are what brought Iran to the table. And if Iran is serious about having a deal, what's wrong with saying, okay, if it falls apart, we'll reimpose tougher sanctions, but if you do an acceptable deal, nothing happens along those lines?
Well, and part of the problem that I see is, they've delayed these deadlines, and I think on November 20th they may delay it further. And to me, that may just be a ruse for Iran to be buying time, because ultimately the time will be on their side. If they're getting the relief from the sanctions, they can then pursue their objectives as they see them. And so I think it's important that we not allow this to just keep going on. If there's no deal to be had, then let's act and let's hold Iran accountable immediately.
Well, I appreciate your comments, and thank you for saying that. Also, let me ask you one further question. You talked about Iran as a state sponsor of terrorism, and you touched on the fact that they contributed to the death of some of our finest young men and women in this country who died in Iraq. Can you elaborate on that, Ron?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think a lot of people know there were a lot of tough years in Iraq, particularly after the overthrow of Saddam Hussein. You had a massive insurgency. That initial insurgency, 2004 in places like Fallujah, and reared again in 05, 06, 07, was finally defeated by the surge, was primarily a Sunni insurgency. And so that's what a lot of Americans think when they think about what was going on in Iraq. And no doubt, that was a huge, huge fighting. We lost very, very good men and women in that. Eventually, we were able to defeat AQI, though, I might add, in 2007, 2008. In the Baghdad area and some of the parts of southern Iraq where it's overwhelmingly Shia, the groups that would rise up against the United States would be these Shiite militia groups, which are backed and funded by the Iranian regime. And in fact, Iran's Quds Force of the Revolutionary Guard Corps, that's a designated terrorist organization. Quds Force was involved in Iraq. And what they would do, they were known for doing, we know about the IED attacks, roadside bombs, those were very serious. They did EFP attacks, which are explosively formed penetrators. And the kind of the scuttle that you'd hear in Iraq was, look, no one wants to get hit by an IED, obviously, but a lot of people could survive that. You got hit by an EFP, it would blow everything to smithereens. So these were deadly attacks, and you're talking hundreds and hundreds of U.S. service members, and it was Iran who was funding that, orchestrating that. And even now today in Iraq, you have Quds Force is in Baghdad. Some of these Shiite militias that are fighting ISIS are backed by Iran. And so, I remember Prime Minister Netanyahu made this point several months ago, and he knows the region obviously as good as anybody because he's got to. When you see these Iranian-backed terror groups, and then you see Sunni terror groups like represented by ISIS, you don't want to pick a side there. You want both of them to eventually fail. And so that strategy, in order to make that succeed, is going to be different than the president writing a letter to the Ayatollah asking to ally against ISIS. We have no interest with Iran. The idea that we're going to align with them for what? You fight one terrorist group to reward a state sponsor of terrorists? That just doesn't make sense, and I think it's dangerous when coupled with what's going on with the nuclear negotiations. There's really potential to have some serious policy miscalculations here that'll be detrimental to our national security and our allies' national security.